Getting you ready for game time. Join me, Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball, as I announce play-by-play. Make sure to smash the like and subscribe, because now we're about to go live. Entering the pregame, we now present Sal from Behind the Arc Basketball. And what's good, everyone? Happy Thursday. Here we go, the start of the 2025 NCAA Tournament first-round matchups. And what a game we got to begin this year's NCAA Tournament. The number 8 seed, the Louisville Cardinals, taking on the number 9 seed, the Creighton Bluejays. If you guys are new in this stream, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe for this matchup, and make sure to type in the chat who you like to win this game. Put it in, Louisville or Creighton, and make sure to vote in the poll as well who you like for today's matchup. The Cards long-awaited to get back to the bracket 2,189 days ago, the last time they played an NCAA tournament game back on March 21st, 2019. But well-deserved under head coach Pat Kelsey in his first season getting back here for Louisville. Severely underseeded. They are the number 10 team in the AP Top 25 poll, but they find themselves as an 8 seed when they went 2-0 this season against the 5 seed in the bracket, Clemson. Louisville 27-7, 18-2 in the ACC. They're 12-1 with their main starting lineup. They're 10-1 with their backup starting lineup. And they got some good signs going into this matchup. Rain Smith will be playing today for the Cards. He's a 38% three-point shooter, 106 made threes this season, as he's going to be coming off the bench. One of the many transfers on the roster for Louisville. This team is loaded, stacked with seniors. They have 12 total seniors on the team for the Cards. Just an incredible turnaround for Louisville this season. Last year they went 8-24. This year, under year one, under head coach Pat Kelsey, going 27-7 this season. 12 seniors in the roster. They got 5 guys averaging in double figures. 4 of those players are key players on the roster for the Cards. And Louisville going up against Kraton in this matchup, which Kraton, no stranger to making it past the first round of the NCAA tournament. They've done that 4 straight times in a row, coming back after COVID. The last loss in the first round of the NCAA tournament under head coach Greg McDermott was back in 2018. And there's no more experienced player in the nation than Ryan Kalkbrenner, 50-year senior, Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East Conference 4 times in his collegiate career, 167 total games, averaging 19-9 for points and rebounds this season. The 7-footer from St. Louis, Missouri for Ryan Kalkbrenner is going to have a monster game today in this matchup to start off the first round of the bracket. They got 3 guys scoring double figures in the roster for Creighton: Ryan Kalkbrenner, Stephen Ashworth, and Jemiah Neal. 63% of the team they represent for the scoring. This is the number 2 team in interior scoring in the nation, led by Ryan Kalkbrenner down low. For the Bluejays, the rarely foul, well-coached team. This is going to be a fantastic matchup taking place in Louisville's home state out in Kentucky, at their rival site, Rupp Arena in Lexington today for this matchup. The Cards pulling a 2.5-point favorite on the line. What's good, Dalman McCrab? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Glad to have you back in from Germany. Yeah, things going well, man. Glad to have you back in. If you guys are doing the stream, keep on smashing that thumbs up. Hit that like, hit that subscribe here, and let's keep it going today. Really appreciate it. For everybody who joined the Behind the Arc Basketball Bracket Challenge group, you had over 45-plus entries into the Bracket Challenge group. And you guys, real legends, MVPs for coming out and supporting this channel here. So this is part of 2 streams that I have planned today. I got a water polo broadcast, and I'm doing tonight at 7. So unfortunately, I won't be able to squeeze in another stream this afternoon. But after I come back, I'm hoping to cover Utah State against UCLA later tonight. That's at 9:25 p.m. Eastern time. I believe that's probably going to be a little bit delayed. That's the scheduled time, but usually those games get delayed, the second game in a batch of 2. Here we go. Bradley, what's good, man? Well awaited here for his Cards. It's been over 2,000 days. The last time they played a tournament game, 2,189 days ago, March 21st, 2019. Year 1 under Pat Kelsey, man. Just a phenomenal season. Everybody's talking about, a lot of people making their brackets, they're talking about the experience of Kraton. Here's the interesting part. Kraton has the most experienced player, Ryan Kalkbrenner, in this entire matchup. He's a 5th-year senior. He's played over 160 games in his collegiate career, but Creighton only has 4 seniors in their roster. Louisville triples that. The Cards have 12 total seniors on their team. I feel like they get a little bit more balance than Creighton as well. That was a big loss that Creighton had back in November. They had a really good score with Pop Isaacs, a transfer out of Texas Tech, and then he got injured 8 games into the season. They got 3 guys who really carry the bulk of the scoring here. Ryan Kalkbrenner averaging above 19 points per game. Stephen Ashworth, the point guard, averaging above 16, and then Jemiah Neal averaging 11.5 points per game. So they got those 3 guys. If they got very little margin of error for Creighton, if one of those guys is off, then this could be a tough game, and Louisville is going to get the win. But if those 3 guys all go off, post double figures, then there's a chance, especially if Kalkbrenner goes off in this game, there's a chance that Creighton could win it. But I feel like here the Cards could have more firepower in this game, especially since they got Rain Smith back right down the line. They got 4 double-digit scores on their team. Chucky Hepburn having an amazing season. This is a whole team that's built out of transfers. Players that's played in tournament games before and players that's won tournament games. Terrence Edwards upset Wisconsin last year as a James Madison transfer. He's on Louisville. James Scott, he played in the tournament last year for Charleston, came over with head coach Pat Kelsey. Rain Smith, another transfer from Charleston, played against Alabama in the first round matchup. Abubakar Traore, he played for Long Beach State last year. They took on Arizona in the first round. Noah Waterman played for BYU. So this is a bunch of players here that they got via the transfer portal, and everything has worked out for them this year. And the key stat here for Cards fans is that teams that's underseeded in the bracket, like Louisville, they were the number 10 team in the AP Top 25 poll this week. Teams that's underseeded, they win 60% of the games in the tournament. So a couple of teams there. Louisville is one of them. Colorado State is another that's taken on a overseeded Memphis team coming up later in the first rounds. A couple of teams that got underseeded in terms of seed lines. What's good, Christian? Welcome in, man. Glad to have you back in. His Cards ready for this matchup. Orlando Lion Fan Club, what's up? Glad to have you in. Hockey from Home, welcome back in. Connor, welcome in. Incredible tournament, hopefully starting off. Hopefully some great buzzer beaters here. If you guys are doing a stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I think we're going to have an instant classic in this matchup today. The first game of the tournament has always lived up to its hype expectations. Coming out of COVID, I remember it was Florida against Virginia Tech. That game went into overtime to start off the tournament in 2021. 2023, I think that was West Virginia against Maryland. That game came down to the wire. And then last year's opening game was pretty good as well. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like here, Louisville or Creighton, part of 2 streams that I plan on covering today. I got a broadcast I'm doing for a college water polo broadcast in person at 7. I should be back around 9, so I'm hoping to cover later tonight Utah State against UCLA for my final stream, and then tomorrow hoping to be back for 3 different games starting off at 12:15 tomorrow with Mississippi State Baylor. I like Louisville in this game. I think they're a little bit more balanced than Creighton. This can go either way, honestly. Creighton has the coaching experience that they've won tournament games, the historical part about it, but I feel like in terms of home court advantage, playing their home state in this game, represented more by the fans, being Louisville in this matchup, playing in their home state, and then this is going to come down to the wire, I feel like. And also the guard play, too. Chucky Hepburn, such a key player of the team this year. Some really good guards in this team. Terrence Edwards, both of those guys average 16 points per game. I think those 2 players there are going to be a handful for Creighton to defend. And the thing about Creighton this year is that they've struggled taking care of the basketball. They're a really good team passing and playmaking, but compared to previous years, they have struggled in the turnover department. That's something that hadn't been a problem in previous years for them. They usually were like top 10 in the country in fewest turnovers per game, but they're racking up around 11 turnovers per game that they're averaging. Stephen Ashworth has been off the roof this year with his assists. He's top 10 in the country, just under 7 assists per game for him. But it's a lot of usage between basically 2 guys on Creighton's team. Ryan Kalkbrenner, he's playing more games than anybody else in the field, 160 plus for the 50-year senior. And then Stephen Ashworth. So they got 2 guys that's superior in terms of their experience, with tons of experience. But for the Cards here, just looking down the lineup, I feel like, in my opinion, they got a little bit more balance for them. And they could be playing with a chip on their shoulder, just like UNC, just like Xavier. People are talking about just one quad one win for both of those teams. They go out, they win the first 4 matchup, advance on to face the 6th seed in their bracket coming up in the second round tomorrow. And Louisville, a team out of the very few teams that got underseeded in this bracket, and usually those underseeded teams win games in the tournament. Yeah, congrats there. A couple coaching hires. Will Wade, so he's still coaching. McNeese takes on Clemson today. Will Wade got hired yesterday as the NC State coach job. So, yeah, back into the Power 5 department. No shocker there. And then Darian DeReeves, and he's now the head coach of Indiana. Just that's stunning. Just one and done or so with West Virginia. Just sad the last couple of days that happened for West Virginia for them. They get snubbed from the tournament, and then their head coach leaves the next day. And then they try to file a lawsuit that against the NCAA selection committee that North Carolina was put in the bracket over West Virginia, and then North Carolina just went out and destroyed San Diego State. North Carolina looks like they're on just a total rampage run right now for them. Honestly, I've got them going to the Sweet 16 in my bracket because they're facing an Ole Miss team that's trending downwards, that hasn't won a tournament game in 12 years. And then after that, they face a hobbled Iowa State team without one of their star players. So they get 2 generous draws after they had a really good generous crack in a matchup against San Diego State, a team that just could not score to begin the tournament. What's good, Porter? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. I got Louisville for this matchup today. Both of these teams are red hot coming into this game. Louisville, they are just absolutely on fire recently. So is Creighton right now coming into this matchup. The Cards are 21-2 in their last 23 games. Creighton is 15-3 in their last 18 coming into this game. Should be a fascinating matchup because Louisville's got the backcourt players. Chucky Hepburn, Terrence Edwards. Terrence Edwards won a first-round matchup last year against Hepburn's team. Chucky played for Wisconsin. Terrence Edwards played for James Madison last year. Both are averaging 16 points per game. And then Creighton has the most experienced player in this tournament, 50-year senior Ryan Kalkbrenner, 7-footer, Big East Defensive Player of the Year 4 times So, yeah, this is really going to be a fascinating matchup here. I think it could come down. It's going to come down to one possession, I feel like, in my opinion. Before I get started, got to go over my top 5 picks for tonight. These are the night games right now, so late night primetime spots. Here's my top 5 picks later tonight in primetime. Yale plus 7.5 on the spread. Yale takes on the 330th worst shooting team in the nation, inefficient Texas A&M. Yale stunned Auburn last year. They feel like they're better this season. John Polikinis averaging over 19 points per game. He's an elite level shot maker. To Ivy in the previous 2 tournaments has pulled off stunners, winning against Arizona with Princeton 2 years ago. Yale beat Auburn last year, and this Texas A&M team loves to go for offensive rebounds. That's what they thrive upon. Second chance points, averaging 16 offensive rebounds per game. Bad news for them, Yale is 25th in the country in defensive rebounds, so I like Yale to cover that spread. I actually have Yale upsetting A&M in my bracket as well. UCLA to cover the 5.5 point spread against Utah State today. Utah State has a bottom 10 defense in the entire tournament in the field of 68. UCLA just got crushed against Wisconsin, but these guys usually bounce back. 6-3 record against the spread following a loss for the Bruins this season. St. John's, Omaha. Or I'll go through St. John's, the Godfather, Rick Pitino. I think this game is going to be a blowout. They're playing in Providence, 18.5 to cover in the spread for the Johnnies in that matchup for Rick Pitino. And then St. John's, Omaha, under 147.5 points. This game could be by a landslide. Like, you're looking like 80 to 50, 80 to 40. St. John's has the best defense in the entire tournament. Omaha might not even reach 50 points in that game. And then UC San Diego later tonight in the money line, 10 o'clock game taking place out in Denver. UC San Diego top 5 in the nation in steals per game. Michigan, they are the taller team, but Michigan ranks bottom 25 in the nation in turnovers, averaging around 14 turnovers per game for Michigan. So there's your 12-5 upset. UC San Diego 30-4. This season for them. We'll see if they are for real tonight with their scrappy defense going up against the big boys in Michigan. Stephen Ashworth, Jemiah Neal, Jason Green, Jackson McAndrew, Ryan Kalkbrenner, the starting 5 for Creighton, going up against Chucky Hepburn, Javon Hadley, Terrence Edwards Jr., Noah Waterman, and James Scott, the starting 5 for Louisville. Good news for Cards fans for this matchup. Rain Smith will be coming off the bench. He's made over 100-plus threes this season for Rain Smith as he is back after missing last couple of games due to an ankle injury. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and here we go. Another year to NCAA tournament. Louisville white jerseys going right to left on the floor. Black letters, black numbers, red outline. Creighton with a blue uniforms, white numbers, white letters as we are underway, and the Bluejays control the opening tip. First possession for Creighton. Jemiah Neal sends it off to Ashworth at the left wing. Stephen Ashworth off the screen set by Kalkbrenner. Ashworth attacks the defense and gets tripped up and fouled. That happens when 19:44. As we're 16 seconds into the game. Ashworth a little bit dinged up too on the opening possession. That's a bad sign there. If he tweaks something, he's able to get up. So good sign to see there for Stephen Ashworth as he got tripped up from behind. That personal foul committed by Chucky Hepburn as he was a step too late, coming around the screen, tripped up Ashworth. Two free throws out of it for Ashworth. First one is good. Pretty efficient Creighton team like usual for them. They attempt a lot of three-point shots for Creighton. They're one of the best interior offenses in the nation. It's all about limiting Ryan Kalkbrenner if you're the Cards in this game. He cannot go off. Cannot be the best player on the floor if Louisville wants to win this one. Both of the free throws good at the line for Ashworth. Opening possession for the tournament for the Cards. It's been over 2,000 days since the last time that Louisville played an NCAA tournament game. Top of the key, Terrence Edwards dribbles towards his left. Moves it on top from Scott. Back to Edwards. Step back 3 in the air. Straight away, partially blocked. And it goes out of bounds. It's off of Creighton. Creighton signaling. They thought it was an air ball here. Let's see in the replay. That looked like it partially got tipped. Yeah, so Louisville will get the basketball back underneath here. Opening possession still for the Cards. 12 in the shot clock. The lob gets sent out to the right wing. Right baseline dribble. Javon Hadley guarded by Kalkbrenner underneath. Hadley looking to swing it around. Hadley looking for someone. Sends it off to Hepburn for the timer. Hepburn drives, attacks the paint, puts it up. No good. Missed off the rim a little bit too strong. A rebound controlled here by Creighton. Ashworth. Push pass left wing. Neal baseline. Outside to Ashworth. First minute of action so far, Creighton 2-0. Kalkbrenner, handoff, Ashworth, kick out, quarter, up fake, Jason Green. On top, Jemiah Neal takes the three off the back rim, no good. The rebound controlled by Edwards for Louisville. What's good, Bryce? Welcome back in. Thanks for joining in, man. Cody, welcome back in the stream. Handoff, Hepburn, dribbles up, low block, swings it outside for the Cards. So they will slow it down. 15 on the shot clock for Louisville. Second possession in the match here. Hadley, up fake, gets around Kalkbrenner, and he traveled with it. Yeah, you can't do that. Ryan Kalkbrenner just so sound defensively for him. So turnover by Louisville on possession number 2. They've been grinding out their first 2 possessions to start things off. Creighton will have their next possession here. Ball just seems like it's flowing much more right now for the Bluejays to begin this game. Ashworth at the left wing. He's working on the Hepburn one-on-one. Crossover, top of the key. Frees up for a 3. No good off the rim. Missed by Ashworth. Offensive rebound controlled by Jackson McAndrew. Stepped out of bounds though at the baseline. So we go back to the Cards here. What's good, Jason? Welcome back in. Thanks for joining in, brother. Just getting started right here today. If you guys are doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this one here. Creighton or Louisville, as we're just getting started. First 2 minutes of action, looking for the lob. Hepburn's lob deflected by Kalkbrenner. That will not work either as Creighton comes up with an interception. McAndrew on top to Kalkbrenner. Handoff Ashworth. Ashworth dribbles up to the elbow outside. Top of the key. Neal bounce pass. Off to Kalkbrenner. They move it around the perimeter. Frees up and open. Look at a 3. No good. Skipped around the rim and out. Missed by McAndrew. Those 3s aren't going down right now for Creighton, starting off 0 for 3 from the perimeter. Hepburn looking to get on the board. Jumper, 15-footer, straight away. Swash! Chucky Hepburn, good for 2. We're even. First bucket coming in 2.5 minutes into this game for the Cards here. Neal at the free throw circle. Been a defensive battle so far. Quarter, jumper, Ashworth, no good. Off the back rim, a rebound controlled by Louisville. Gotta go inside if you're Creighton right now. You get the size advantage with the best player on the floor with Ryan Kalkbrenner, and they're just completely striving away from that as the Cards tee up a 3. Chucky Hepburn from downtown. 5-zip run by Chucky. He had a game winner at the buzzer and an absolute present against Stanford to continue the ACC tournament. Missed 3 again. Everything's been a 3 by Creighton. Ashworth. Lob to Kalkbrenner. Top of the free throw circle. Outside Ashworth. Push pass down the middle. And it's good for 2 up and then off the glass by McAndrew. 5-4 now. Jackson McAndrew, a first year out of Wayzata, Minnesota. Top 35 recruit. Louisville will slow it down. 16.5 left to go in the opening half. Chucky Hepburn slides it off to the left wing. Terrence Andrews. Andrews gets around the screen, dribbles up inside the key. Edwards outside over to Hepburn. Hepburn drives, attacks on Kalkbrenner, blocked by Kalkbrenner, loose ball. Hepburn scoops it up though. Nice resiliency there by Chucky. Chucky's going to have to launch 2 in the shot clock. Quarter 3, no good. And it's a shot clock violation. Yeah, they're going to have to get other players involved instead of just simply Chucky. And for Creighton, you got to go inside. You're the number 2 team in the nation in 2-point shooting percentage. And Ryan Kalkbrenner has barely got any low post touches so far for him. Everything's been a 3. They're 1 for 6 from the floor, 0 for 5 from the perimeter. Four minutes into action, Creighton down by 1 with a possession. Jason Green slides it on top over to Kalkbrenner, dribbles towards his left, looking for Ashworth, couldn't get the ball to him. It goes over to Jemiah Neal. Neal dribbles, drives, down the lane inside, up fake, gets past 1 defender, he scores, up it off the backboard. 6-5 Creighton. What's good, Joe Mama on the stream? Welcome in, thanks for joining in. Here's a deep range 3, take him out of Cards, and it goes out of bounds. It's going to head us to the first timeout of the game under the 16-minute media break here. With 15:37 left to go in the opening half of action. That may have been partially tipped on the 3. I'm going to see what they rolled it here. It was an air ball. And that's the second air ball of the game by the Cards so far. I'm going to see if it's... They didn't point in any direction. We'll see what happens coming back out of the timeout. It was air ball by Louisville. If this was partially tipped, it will stay the Cards ball. But if it was simply an air ball, it will be Creighton ball coming up out of the timeout. So first timeout, so we hit the media break here. And we'll be back in a couple moments off the media break. A lot of people joining in, 140 right now. If you guys are doing a stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I cover play-by-play action, basketball games here, college hoops, NBA on the channel. It's mostly going to be college basketball, March Madness, since the tournament is here. This is my first stream out of 2 today. I'll be back on later today covering Utah State against UCLA. Later tonight at 9:25 p.m. So feel free to join in if you guys would like. And then tomorrow, hoping to cover 3 streams, breaking those down between Mississippi State, Baylor. That will start at the same time as this one, 12:15 tomorrow. For Mississippi State, Baylor. After that's around 4 o'clock between UNC and Iowa State. And then the late game, 9:25 between Oklahoma and UConn. Jet Bond, thanks for joining in. Salvador Chavez, welcome in. Glad to have you back in here. Yeah, I'll be back later tonight. Utah State, UCLA, I'm hoping to cover. Unfortunately, I wish I could cover games out of the 7 p.m. window. I get a broadcast, and I do broadcast on the side for a couple of colleges. So I got a water polo broadcast tonight at 7, but I should be back in time for that 9:25 game. They usually have it delayed too. The second game that backs the 7 o'clock time game usually gets delayed by a couple more minutes or so. Let's see what we got on the schedule here for games today. High Point, Purdue, the second game that will take place today. That will start at 12:40. Montana takes on Wisconsin at 1:30. SIU Edwardsville will take on Houston at 2 p.m. Winner of this game will face the winner of the 1 seed Auburn versus the 16 seed Alabama State. That game begins around 2:50 p.m. this afternoon. Feel free, hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win this game as well, Creighton or Louisville. I think I've heard that name before, Bryce. I haven't gone on his streams before now. Yeah, I'm gonna do Oklahoma, UConn tomorrow there. I wanted to spread it out, that's why. I feel like that game's, it's gonna be an absolute war tomorrow, Oklahoma, UConn. We get back to action right now, 6-5, Kraton left to right in the floor with a possession. Steven Ashworth lobs it over to Kalkbrenner, top of the key. Kalkbrenner slides it down low, and Creighton's able to score up and off the glass. That is Jason Green, number 0, who gets the bucket. Hepburn, a lot of Hepburn in this game. Fall away, inside the key, got 2 more. He's got all 7 points right now for Chucky. Steven Ashworth with possession, top of the key. Lobs it over to Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner. He's defended by number 25, Abubakar Traore. Here's a step-back 3, and it's good. Kraton adds on to their total. Steven Ashworth, first made triple of the game. That's the first made 3 by the Bluejays, going up by 4. Open opportunity, Traore, not a 3-point shooter. Drives in the paint on Kalkbrenner. Handoff, as there'll be a runner missed off the mark. Short by Terrence Edwards. Offensive rebound controlled by Edwards, though. Dump off Traore. Backdoor scores. Up and it off the backboard. Good layup right there. That was a tough one, scoring backdoor for Louisville. 2-point game right now. 14-20 left to go in the first. Ashworth towards his left around the perimeter. Steven Ashworth, wide open 3. That's a ridiculous 3 from Peyton Pritchard range from a 32-footer, and he bricked it off the back rim. Cards have possession. Hepburn at the right wing. Hepburn guarded by Jemiah Neal, 1-on-1. Backs his way mid-block. Outside, slides it over to Rain Smith, coming off the bench first time today. This last couple of games due to injury, now he's back. Step back 3, Rain Smith delivers. Oh, man, adding firepower to the Cards coming off the bench this afternoon. A 13 points per game score. And he has his first triple. 100-plus threes made this season. Slipping the baseline. That's Ashworth who scores the layup. Scoring start to pick up right now. 13-12 for the Blue Jays. Edwards, step back three in the air, straight away for the Cards. Drills another one. Bang, a bang for Louisville. 15-13 should be the score right now as the CBS score bug has frozen for Creighton as the intern forgot to put Creighton with 13 points instead with 11. Kalkbrenner, top of the key. So we approach the 13-minute mark left to go. Kalkbrenner, watch out for this dribble, drive, penetration. Got it to the cup and an and one coming up. 15 even as Ryan Kalkbrenner got fouled. We're blazing right through this first quarter right now. Creighton simply does not foul as a team. They are number one in the country in fewest fouls per game for Creighton. So whenever you have a team like that, this game is going to go like an hour 50 unless we have overtime. Unless we got overtime, unless we got official reviews, which we might in the final minutes of this game today. This game's going to go by really fast to start off the tournament because Creighton simply does not foul. Free throw is good by Kalkbrenner. 1 point lead right now for the Blue Jays. So Ryan Kalkbrenner on the 3-point play. Creighton started off 0 for 5. They're 6 for 7 ever since. Louisville with possession. I'll check that. I'm way off. Yeah, I accidentally hit the seconds there. We got 12:45 left to go instead of 4:45. That's an offensive foul charge to Louisville. That's on Traore, so a turnover here for the Cards. What's good, Thomas? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, Bryson Goodine from Oklahoma. One of my coworkers that I work with, he was part of his shootout. He runs it's called the Heron Shootout. So I work with Chris Heron's brother, and he ran that shootout. And Bryson Goodine, I believe from like a few years ago, was part of that shootout. Turnover committed by Kraton. That lob was way too low inside the paint, sailed off the top of the fingertips of Kalkbrenner inside. That was a turnover by Jackson McAndrew, and McAndrew criticized as well by Greg McDermott on the bench as he substitutes out. Harry, welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, well-deserved there for Will Wade, too. Excellent seasons at McNeese and gets a Power 5 job once again. Hepburn at the elbow, swings it across the floor. Quarter three, that is way off the mark. No good by Noah Waterman. And out of the pack, here goes the Blue Jays with possession. First time on the floor for Fedor Zujic. He was coming into this game as questionable due to an injury. He's out of the country. Amate Negro. And Louisville picks up a shooting foul here. Oh, they were looking for the charge right here. Rain Smith tried to take the charge. Referees roll it on Smith, though, on a shooting foul. So 2 free throws. Are they going to set up? No, they're actually not going to set up at the free throw line. So not going through the shooting motion was Jemiah Neal here. So they're going to set this up as an inbound for Creighton. So this will be an inbound coming up for the Blue Jays. 1 point lead for Creighton. Creighton gets the inbound. Frederick King dribbles up to the top, looking to turn the corner. He's being pressured, gets the way to Ashworth. Dump off down low. King soars up. He missed the slam dunk. And the King gets called in the over-the-back foul as well. And that's the worst-case scenario there. Frederick King checks into the game. Misses an open roll to the hoop. He had a layup straight away. And then Noah Waterman swipes the ball at the last moment, get a piece of that ball, and kind of was able to take the momentum partially away from King as he blew the wide-open slam dunk, and then going up for the rebound, he committed the loose ball foul. So we head to the media timeout under 12 minutes left to go in the first half of action. 16-15, Creighton by 1. Wow, what a start. This game really living up to the hype right now. Hit us up in the chat who you guys got to win this game, Creighton or Louisville. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Man, these bench players, it's brutal for for Creighton. They're going to have to dig deep in their bench, and that's something that they haven't been able to do this year for them. Whereas the Cards are responsible for 5 points off the bench so far. Rain Smith with a 3. Abubakar Traore with 2. And Creighton has got one player greater that's played off the bench. They have 3 guys who's come off the bench. They got 0 bench points. Louisville's got 5 points combined from 2 guys off the bench. So for the Cards here, Chucky Hepburn, he's got 7. If Terrence Edwards, slow start for him, 1 for 4 shooting. If he steps up, then Louisville very well could take this game because they got a bigger bench impact. And Kalkbrenner needs to be part of this offense right now for Creighton to have any sort of opportunity. 1 for 1. Right now, these guys are simply just ignoring Kalkbrenner down low and jacking up ridiculous threes, and they're missing 1 for 7 from the perimeter to begin this game for Creighton. What's good, Travis? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Quick timeout here. I'd like to let you guys know about my channel sponsor. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, where you can bet on the season sports action with an A+ rated sports book, which has been running since 1994. It's available in all 50 U.S. states. With BetUS, you can bet on your favorite sports teams, players, and sporting events. And for those who go to the BetUS website, you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. Use my BetUS channel link, which is posted in the description of the video and pinned into the chat to get started, or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of this screen. BetUS, my new channel sponsor, with that link in the description, pinned into the chat, QR code bottom corner. BetUS has been changing the game for over 30 years. All right, 16-15 as we come back from the timeout right now. Yeah, what's random? The YouTube ads randomly have been popping in more and more. Hey, what's good? We got my girlfriend on the stream. Yeah, she thinks that this one's going to be a fun one today. Glad to have you back in. Let's get some girlfriend hype out in the chat here from my girlfriend, Charisse, joining in first time today. Yeah, that number in the spread, I think it started off at like 14.5. Kentucky was a favorite against Troy. I believe that number has dwindled down to 11.5 in the spread right now. 11:55 left to go in the first. Ryan Kalkbrenner with a tissue on his nose right now, looking like he has a nosebleed. He's in the bench. Carly lob over the top of Louisville, able to connect. Hepburn sends it over the top to Hadley. 1 point lead for the Cards. This is a chance to go up and increase the lead for Louisville because Creighton's best player, Ryan Kalkbrenner, is right now on the bench. Steven Ashworth, Fedor Zujic, Frederick King, number 41 is on the floor as Jemiah Neal scores. Neal is on the floor alongside Isaac Trout, who's in the spot of Kalkbrenner right now. That's what they got on the court currently for Creighton. Terrence Edwards Jr. with possession. Edwards tiptoes the baseline and shoved out of bounds. It's a foul committed, charge to Zugic. High Point Purdue, that'll tip off in 4 minutes from now. I actually picked High Point to pull off the upset there. Purdue ranks bottom 5 in the country in the last 30 days in interior defense. High Point ranks top 20 in interior offense the last 30 days in efficiency. Inbound goes to Waterman. I got Florida to win it all in my bracket. Florida over Duke. At the right wing with Terrence Edwards. He dribbles up, drives inside the paint. Edwards guarded by Zugic. Puts up the shot, no good. Missed off the mark. Kalkbrenner back in the game as he secures the defensive rebound. A 1 point lead for Creighton. So he substituted out for approximately a minute and then came back during the last whistle. Neal slides it over to Ashworth. Ashworth lob down low. Kalkbrenner, easy position behind the defense, scores through for 2. 3 point lead for Creighton. 9-2 run right now for the Bluejays. Chucky Hepburn at the top of the key. Chucky crossover guarded by Isaac Trout. Takes him one-on-one right into the paint. And Hepburn gets fouled. So clock will stop. 10:28 left to go in the first. This will be 2 free throws coming up for Chucky Hepburn, first team All-ACC selection this year, averaging 16 points, just under 6 assists per game. First free throw is good. This is a really good matchup because Creighton has been here to the tournament multiple times before. 4 straight first round wins under head coach Greg McDermott coming out of COVID. Last time they lost the first round matchup was back in 2018. And Louisville long awaited for them. They were severely underseeded, number 10 team in the AP poll, an 8 seed for this bracket. Usually underseeded teams win 60% of the time. Zugic sends it off to Kalkbrenner, top of the key. Handoff now to Ashworth, 10 on the shot clock. Ashworth outside to Jemiah Neal. Neal, step back 3 in the air over Edwards. Swash! 4-point advantage for Kraton. That's a big-time triple by Jemiah Neal. 2 for 8 from 3 for Creighton. Louisville 3 for 6. And the open 3 missed off the mark. No good by Noah Waterman. Neal drives, attacks the paint. Paint defense right there. That was susceptible for Louisville. Luckily, Waterman met him at the end of the play there, right underneath the rim, and collected a defensive rebound. Hepburn, mid-range, off the back rim, no good. A rebound secured by Neal. Cards have had the looks, haven't been able to knock it down recently, though. Creighton with possession. Jemiah Neal, guarded here by Rainsmith at the left wing, gets around the Kalkbrenner screen. Kalkbrenner rolls down, slides it out to the left wing. Open 3, catch and fire. That's an air ball. Missed by a mile, way off the mark, towards the right of the rim by Isaac Trout. As we're under 9:20 left to go here. The first attacking the paint. Terrence Edwards puts it up and in. Scores for 2. 2-point game right now. A fascinating matchup between both of these teams currently. And Kalkbrenner able to connect. It's Jemiah Neal. Nice dime right there over the top to Kalkbrenner. Well, the start to this game, Ryan Kalkbrenner with 7 at the moment. Javon Hadley on top finds Waterman wide open. Decides to not try a 3. Rainsmith back to Waterman. 8 in the shot clock towards his left. Hand off to Edwards. Edwards working on Kalkbrenner here. Back out to the right wing. Edwards. Step back 3 in the air. Contested by Kalkbrenner. Missed off the rim. No good. That's not going to work. And the rebound secured by Creighton. Looking for that outlet pass and broke it up by Louisville. Great job of the double team underneath the rim. Defending Kalkbrenner to outside. Rainsmith. Deep range 3. No good off the mark. And the rebound gets collected by Zugic. Creighton by 4 with possession. Stephen Ashworth. Defended by Hepburn, top of the key. Outside Kalkbrenner. Hand off to Jemiah Neal. Back over to Ashworth. Doing a lot of their ball movement around the perimeter still. 10 in the shot clock. Still haven't tried the paint right now for Creighton. Thought about the step back. Made the extra pass. Zugic shot a 3 and he drills it. 28-21 Creighton. Starting to get a stroke right now for the perimeter. And a timeout taken by Pat Kelsey. 7-point lead for the Bluejays. 7:30 left to go in the first half right now. Historically, Creighton has been able to get the job done in first-round matchups. And they got just excellent balance through their starters right now for them. That is a key sign for a team that lacks some scoring. Besides a main trio, they've got starters starting to go off, and Fedor Zugic just hit a big shot from the bench. So that's the first 3 points that they just scored off the bench. 7 points by Stephen Ashworth. Kalkbrenner's got 7. This is completely wrong what ESPN has for their box score. Somebody who's doing statistics has it completely wrong what they do. And Kalkbrenner's got 7 right now for them. They've got them at 5 over on ESPN.com. Louisville led by Chucky Hepburn. He's got 7. They're going to need other players to step up. They've usually had for scores. Or he's got 9. Check that. Chucky Hepburn with 9. Terrence Edwards. He's got statted for 3 right now. That's what ESPN has him statted as. I think whoever's working stats for ESPN has some of the numbers wrong currently. Hey, what's good? Jeffrey, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe as we go into timeout. We got 200 plus people watching here. Let's keep it going. If you guys would like to join in, back to the channel. I'll be back live later tonight covering Utah State against UCLA at 9:25 p.m. So feel free to join back in later tonight for my final stream of the day. High Point and Purdue. That game just tipped off. 2 minutes through. High Point 3, Purdue 3. Other games that will take place in this time slot, early afternoon. Montana, the 14 seed, will take on Wisconsin, the 3 seed. And then a pair of 16 versus 1s. SIU Edwardsville versus Houston. And then Alabama State will take on Auburn. Winner of this game will face the winner of Auburn, Alabama State. Yeah, I actually took High Point in my bracket to win that game. Purdue has not looked good recently. They barely beat a USC team in their conference tournament, which USC lost a non-conference game to St. Mary's 71-36. High Point with just 5 losses this year for Purdue. What's concerning is that they got one of the worst paint defenses in the country, and High Point has one of the better efficient units from 2 this year. It looks like right now, first 3 minutes, High Point hanging right in with Purdue 5-5. 3 for 10 from the perimeter for Creighton, but they have dominated the paint. 16 points in the paint. They're shooting 80% at 8 for 10 right now in the paint as we come back to action. Louisville looking to start to make their shots here as we come back from the timeout. Hepburn, quarter 3, no good. Got knocked down, no call by the referees, and this ball sails out of bounds. Last touch by Louisville. The defense is a force for Creighton. 4-time defensive player in the Big East Conference, Ryan Kalkbrenner. He had 1 possession, and now we're going to head over to another timeout. Timeout taken on an official TV timeout. So this is the official TV timeout because the Cards took the previous timeout. Yeah, could see some bracket busters today and tomorrow for sure. Nathaniel, oh man, sorry to hear that so far. Dale, welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, Purdue has had a history of losing this past decade coming out of COVID. Lost against North Texas in a 13v4 matchup. High Point, could they pull some sort of similar Virginia vibes from 2 years ago? Virginia lost to Furman. Same time slot. Same exact time slot. Same exact network that the game was on. Usually we have a very early first round upset in the opening slot. Last year it was BYU who lost to Duquesne, but they didn't put any 11 versus 6 matchup in the early afternoon time slots. So we'll see if there is that big upset going on. High Point with a 1-point lead currently over Purdue, 8-7 in the first 3.5 minutes. High Point's got some Power 5 transfers on their team that they have. A couple players played for like major conference teams. Jocelyn Bodo, he's a 7-foot big man for High Point. Demorian Williams, he played, I believe it was for Texas Tech a couple of years back for him. Yeah, he played for Texas Tech last season. So they've got some experienced players for High Point. They got multiple seniors on that team for High Point, going up against a very unathletic Purdue team. That team's basically like 2 guys or so between Braden Smith and then Trey Kaufman-Renn, and if Fletcher Lawyer's on point with his shots or so, then they have a really good third option that they have too, but High Point sticking right with Purdue right now. Wow, UNCW to upset Texas Tech. Yeah, I'm really interested to see how the Big 12 does in this tournament. Last year they were kind of lackluster for the Big 12. Seven-point game right now as we're about to come back from this timeout. And Yeah, if you guys are new in the stream, keep on smashing that thumbs up. Hitting that like helps out this video a ton being found on YouTube. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. And if you like to stay in the know for future live streams, ring that notification bell to be notified for future live streams on the channel. I cover basketball games throughout the March Madness tournament, also NBA coverage as well, and NBA playoffs around a month away, starting off the playoffs. Creighton on a 12-4 scoring run in the last 4+ minutes. 7 points each by Steven Ashworth, Jemiah Neal, and Ryan Kalkbrenner. That's some really good balance out of your top 3 players for scores. And then Fedor Zugic, who has been coming alive recently, he's got 3. So we get back to action. Creighton, 7-point lead and the basketball. Just basketball. Won't be able to cover NFL because I'm really busy throughout the fall. Fedor Zugic, number 7, with possession away from the ball here. The Cards pick up a foul. That's now their 5th as a team. 3 by Creighton in this opening half for personal fouls. 5 by Louisville. What a comeback by Xavier yesterday. Zach Fremantle had 4 fouls with like 6 minutes left, and they came back and won that game. Ashworth, bounce pass over to Zugic. Zugic, near side corner, lob to Kalkbrenner, right baseline. Kalkbrenner, double team, gets it away, and that ball gets stolen away. Terrence Edwards comes out with a steal. Numbers, 3-on-2, up the floor, soaring up with a 2-handed flush. Big time, a throwdown there for the Cars. That is number 9. Connie Roots off the bench. He only averages 3 points per game this season. That's a gigantic energy builder to slam dunk there by Roots. Ashworth at the right wing. Bounce pass top of the key over to Jason Green. Lob down low, stole away. Back-to-back steals here by Louisville. In transition once again, Javon Hadley. Right baseline Jibble, working on one defender. Right to the rim, he scores. Up and off the backboard. Right over Jason Green for 2. 3-point game. Creighton getting a little bit of ball issues right now. That's been their issue this season. Last year, averaging around 9 turnovers per game. One of the best teams in the country this year. They're averaging 2 turnovers greater this season at above 11. 28-25. Cards generating back-to-back buckets off the turnovers as Creighton burns a timeout. Right back in the game right now. 6:16 left to go in this opening half. What a first half to begin the 2025 tournament. Quick update on Purdue and High Point as that game has started off. Purdue to the first media timeout leads 9-8 against High Point. Looks like this is a 30-second timeout, so we'll get quick back into it. Ball pressure being evident right now by the Cards. And now they've found something. Fast break offense. They got fast guards on their team. Always love it when you get fast guards in the tournament. That Miami team from like 3 years ago had some really fast guards, made it all the way to the Final Four. It didn't matter their defense. Their defense was not good, but they played a 4-guard lineup and ended up just outscoring opponents rest of the stretch and made it all the way to the Final Four. That was from 2 years ago. We get back to action here. 28-25. Creighton with possession. Ryan Kalkbrenner out on the perimeter, top of the key. Kalkbrenner, 12 in the shot clock. Dribbles towards the left wing. Kalkbrenner at the elbow. Outside finds Ashworth. Pops up for a deep range 3. Connects on it. 31-25 as he knocks down the 30-footer. What's good, Ian? Welcome in. Thanks for joining back in, brother. Cards with a trailing by 6 right now with possession. Javon Hadley. Gets right past Jason Green. Hadley dribbles up inside the key. Up fake. Runner over. Green missed off the rim. Tipped up in the air. And a loose ball foul charged to Javon Hadley of Louisville. That's now their 6th. So 6 personal fouls as a team for Louisville. 3 by Kraton. Man, what a tremendous start to this tournament. I get a feeling that this game's going to come down to the final possession. Javon Hadley has to be careful. He's got 2 personal fouls as well. This Creighton team simply does not foul. They don't beat themselves too often as well. Lob over the top, and Kalkbrenner got it blocked. Kraton got it back, though. Straight away, 3, zip through by Jackson McAndrew. Largest lead of the game, up by 9. They are lethal from the perimeter. Cards trying to get right back into it. Yeah, James Scott's playing with a mask for today's game. Missed shot by Edwards. He missed the runner. And that was a pretty clean look that he had as Kraton looks to push it. Kalkbrenner bobbled it, lost it. And it got deflected out by... Who's this possession out by? I think it's going to stay Kraton ball. Looked like he got poked from behind loose off of the Cards, but we'll see. Yeah, it's too late to make a bracket. The bracket's locked. Yeah, so this will stay Kraton possession. That was poked from behind, out of bounds off Louisville. Cross-court pass off to Kalkbrenner. Neal slides it off to Ashworth. Steven Ashworth double figures, 2 for 5 from the perimeter with 10. Ashworth dribbles up to the logo. Jumper deep 2, no good off the mark. Tipped around, offensive rebound right back to Jason Green. Corner 3, Ashworth. Swoosh. Steven Ashworth. Big time gamer right now with 13. Edwards driving downhill to the rim, partially blocked by Jemiah Neal. Comes out with a basketball. 9-zip run here for Creighton. Last 4 tournaments, they've won every single one of those in the first round. Bang, bang from the top of the key. The Bluejays with a 15-point lead. The freshman, Jackson McAndrew from downtown. Timeout on the floor by Louisville. 4:15 left to go in the first as we head to the timeout. Just a major eruption from the perimeter. 13 for Steven Ashworth. 8 by Jackson McAndrew and 7 each by Kalkbrenner and Neal. Kraton making their threes right now. They started off really cold, and now all of a sudden they're 7 for 14 from 3. They're 57% shooting from the floor, limiting Louisville to just 10 for 25 at 40% right now. High Point Purdue, that game is tied 11-11. And right as I said, tied, Purdue just scored with Trey Kaufman-Renn. 13-11 Purdue with 13 minutes left in the first. So right now in the timeout, I'd like to let you guys know about my channel sponsor, BetUS. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, where you can bet on this season's sports action with BetUS. It's an A+ rated sports book, which has been running since 1994. It's available in all 50 U.S. states. Bet on your favorite sports teams, players, and sporting events with BetUS. And for new sports bettors who go to the BetUS website, you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. Use my BetUS channel link, which is posted in the description of the video and pinned into the chat to get started with BetUS, or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of this screen. So check out my sponsor, BetUS. The link is posted in the description of the video, pinned into the chat to get started, or scan the QR code. BetUS has been changing the game for over 30 years. So right now, the Cards haven't been able to wake up. Kraton is absolutely red hot at the moment. Hit us up in the chat who you guys like to win here, Kraton or Louisville. 64% going for the Cards in this matchup. And they got to start to make some shots here currently. A lot of looks that they've had just haven't been able to go in. Mid-range shots, runners. They're going to need more production out of everybody else. Not much balance for Louisville, which is very odd because Kraton is getting the most out of everybody in this game. Chucky Hepburn with 9 points for Louisville, 5 points by Terrence Edwards, but he has got locked up, shooting just 2 for 9 from the floor. Javon Hadley with 4. 13 by Steven Ashworth. 8 points by the freshman Jackson McAndrew, 7 each by Kalkbrenner and Jemiah Neal. Second chance opportunities for Kraton recently, leading to a barrage of shots that they're making from downtown. Started off really cold from the perimeter at 1 for 7. All of a sudden, they're 7 for 14. They got two of the most experienced players in this field. Only have 4 seniors in the roster, but Ryan Kalkbrenner and Steven Ashworth playing so many games throughout their collegiate career. We'll see what Louisville can do to see if they can get back into this matchup. Tough shot attempt right there by Chucky Hepburn off the step back, got rebounded by Creighton. Lob off to the low block. Jason Green working out Rain Smith one-on-one. Green turn around, no good off the front rim. A rebound secured by Terrence Edwards. Louisville in a 2-minute and 30-second plus scoring drought. That's a tough layup attempt. Got rejected by the bottom part of the rim by Terrence Edwards. Creighton out in full control right now. Jackson McAndrew inside the key. McAndrew turn around hook shot off the back rim. No good. A rebound secured here for the Cards with number 25, Traore. Traore at the top of the key. Slides it off to Hepburn. Hepburn at the elbow. Dribbles up. Bumped into. No call, but the refs got it to go, though. Good for 2. Right now, Purdue leads High Point 15-14 with 11:10 left to go in the first. That's a start there for the Cards. 11 points out of the 27 coming through Chucky Hepburn this afternoon in the first half. As we approach the 3-minute mark left to go. Jemiah Neal at the wing, away from the basketball. Got a foul. That's number 7. So Kraton now will go into the bonus. So we have a substitution here. Number 5, Terrence Edwards checks out. Number 1, Javon Hadley checks back in. Yep. Yeah, I picked High Point in that game. Purdue, only time that they've been able to survive this decade was last year when they made a run to the national championship game. All the other games they got upset as the better seed. First free throw is good for Creighton to go by 14. Second shot missed, no good. A rebound secured by Waterman. And Kalkbrenner still on the floor right now as Hepburn drives right at Kalkbrenner. Missed off the mark, no good. A rebound secured by Neal. Just not getting anything inside the paint. That's the no-fly zone because they get the 4-time Defensive Player of the Year. The Big East, Ryan Kalkbrenner, a 7-footer, altering shot after shot after shot. Steven Ashworth, bounce pass off to Kalkbrenner at the elbow. Slides it out to the right wing. Touch pass. Quarter 3 for Creighton. It's good by Jackson McAndrew. No wonder why they're top 10 in the country in assists per game. They're zipping that ball around right now. Looking to sneak past Kalkbrenner. Couldn't do that either. Kalkbrenner with another stop on an altered miss. That was Traore who missed it off the glass. Straightaway 3. And they bury another one by Jemiah Neal. Man, this game is out of the park right now. 47-27 with 2 minutes left in the first half. Creighton on a 19-2 run. Hepburn outside of Rain Smith. Over to the right wing to Javon Hadley. Hadley puts the ball back into the hands of Hepburn. Hepburn at the top of the key. Dribbles up to the elbow here. Chucky, jumper, swoosh, right over Kalkbrenner. Only that they've been able to get mostly by Chucky Hepburn. Kalkbrenner running the floor, deflected out of bounds off Louisville. Tipped out of bounds off Hadley. Gonna stay Creighton ball. Purdue up now 18-14 against High Point. Louisville right now shooting just 3 for 11 from the perimeter. 27%. Creighton is red hot, tripling Louisville in this game from 3, 9 for 16. And Creighton came out and they were bricking threes left and right. Creighton just turned it over. So a turnover by the Bluejays, and it will go back to the Cards here. 1:32 left to go before halftime. You got to start to string together buckets at least to give your team at least some confidence going into that halftime huddle. Yesterday, Xavier was down by double digits, came back and won. So obviously anything possible, but still, if Creighton's shooting like this, it's going to get really, really difficult. Hepburn comes off the screen outside, finds Rain Smith, corner 3, no good off the mark, and one of the top perimeter shooters on the team, so that's a tough miss right there as Creighton collected a defensive rebound. Brick City for Louisville right now from the floor. 37.5%, just 12 for 32 in this opening half. Creighton shooting 57%. James Scott, or it's Jason Green, Outside to Neal, and Neal gets followed by Hepburn. So free throws coming up in the bonus, and the 1-and-1 for Creighton. This is going to be Jemiah Neal, who will get the 1-and-1 bonus with the free throws. One-and-one bonus. First free throw is good. If you're doing the stream here, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. Second free throw is good. 49-29, 51 seconds left. Creighton legit cannot miss. The final 10-minute stretch of this first half, they were on fire. Chucky Hepburn towards his left, circles, downhill to the rim. Chucky up and in off the backboard. They're going to need more than him, though, and players to step up in half, too. He's done everything possible. 15 points out of the 31. Almost half of the points coming through Chucky Hepburn. After that, 5 points by Terrence Edwards Jr., 4 by Javon Hadley. Everybody else with 3, 2, or 0. 2-second differential shot clock and game clock to close out the end of the first half. Stephen Ashworth. Louisville looking for a stop. Kraton looking for an early dagger going into halftime. Ashworth, top of the key. 7 seconds left. Dribbles up to the elbow, and an offensive foul committed charge to Kraton. So this is going to give the Cards some signs of hope here. Ryan Kalkbrenner, an illegal screen that he set, results in a turnover. 6 seconds left. One more possession for the Cards. This is a big possession right now if they can score on it. Getting some momentum into halftime. 49-31. Hepburn pulls up from 30 feet away. Oh, he buried it! Chucky Hepburn around the rim and in. Puts his team within 15 going into halftime. They got some momentum. Kraton decided not to play defense. Fall asleep on the final possession. Chucky Hepburn blows past one defender. Pulls up from 30 feet behind the arc. And able to ring in a 3. Chucky, 18 out of the 34, more than half of the points. If they got guys who can step up, then we got ourselves a ball game in half number 2. 49-34 right now. Creighton on absolute fire. They got the team balance. 3 guys already in double figures. 13 by Stephen Ashworth, 12 by Jemiah Neal, 11 by Jackson McAndrew. Ryan Kalkbrenner, perfect, 3 for 3 from the floor. 7 points for him. I mean, if he goes off, this game is over in half 2. But if Louisville has other players step up, if they can limit Kalkbrenner, limit the threes, then, man, we get ourselves a ball game here coming up in half 2 if the Cards can start to come on back in this one. Just that poor stretch for the Cards that they couldn't make a shot, and then Kraton was making everything. They were red hot. Red hot. I'm a Providence fan, so yeah, I'm like 20 minutes away from Providence. Yeah, so Providence is my team for college hoops, but big shout out to Brown and Stonehill. Those are the 2 teams that I actually work for, covering a lot of their college games for them. So I do like a bunch of various sports for both of those colleges. So I recently got into a couple of D1s broadcasting. I do D3s, but a couple of D1s within the last year had me doing games for them. So since September, I've been working at Brown doing games for them on ESPN Plus, and then I've been doing games from time to time over at Stonehill as well, which they're a brand new team in D1. It's their 3rd season now in D1. We got 200 plus watching right now. If you guys are new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and just one team on fire, other team is not. 4 for 13 from 3 for Louisville. It's going to be tough to get shots at the rim for them, because Ryan Kalkbrenner is one of the best defenders in the low post in this tournament. And Creighton just Man, they're just torching them. They torched them in the paint to begin this game, torched them from 3. Winning a stretch, like the 10-minute mark downwards to like the 4-minute mark. They were ripping down threes left and right after one another. Creighton plus 6 in the glass as well, 20-14. Yeah, some really, really bad fouls. Not helping out Louisville too. And this is a tough matchup to go up against with Kraton because they barely foul. They're the top team in the country in fewest fouls per game. So they're not going to rack up any fouls. If they do, they're not a deep team. Right now, 4 personal fouls by Kraton, split by 1 player each. And then Louisville right now with a little bit of foul trouble. Chucky Hepburn, he's got 2 fouls. The best player on the floor by far for them. And Javon Hadley's got 2. They got 8 as a team for fouls. Kraton has 4. Hey, what's good, Charlize? So welcome back in. Thanks for joining in. Yeah, I'm going to see if I can put on that Purdue High Point game. I'll be back later tonight, 9:25 p.m. I'm hoping to be back. Utah State against UCLA. My apologies this year for not being able to do a game in like mid-afternoon, like a 4 or 7 o'clock game or so. I have a college water polo broadcast tonight at 7. Usually those games go by quick. They're like an hour and 15 minutes or so. So I'm probably going to be home at 9. So I'm hoping to cover Utah State, UCLA at 9:25. Let's see. High Point, Purdue. Yeah, I'm out at that time. So I get a game directly at 7 tonight. Yeah, really busy week this week for games. Yesterday I had a lacrosse game. Tonight I got water polo. Saturday noontime I got lacrosse, and then Sunday I was supposed to do softball at Stonehill on Sunday. They got me on baseball right now, which I'm not gonna post a stream time on Sunday because the team that they're playing, Maryland Eastern Shore, they went 0-48 last year. And that game, I don't think they got any 10-run rule since it's an NEC conference game. That game honestly might go 4 or 5 hours because the pitcher's ERA for some of those players have an ERA above 10 on Maryland Eastern Shore. Yeah, I'm preparing myself for the game that possibly the final score could be like 25-20 or something like that because Maryland Eastern Shore does not have any pitching and they were winless last year, 0-48. I'm out in Massachusetts. Yeah, so I'm based out of Mass, not too far away from the Rhode Island border. Let's see, Purdue leads High Point 21-22. High Point's got a bunch of seniors on their team. Braden Smith for Purdue, he has 9 points. High Point goes through a really deep rotation for them. They're balancing out the point coverage by multiple players. Yeah, they get a couple Power 5s from the Big 12 on their team for High Point. Bobby Pettiford used to play at Kansas, and then DeMorian Williams used to play at Texas Tech, so a couple Big 12 transfers on the High Point. 7:49 left to go in the first between Purdue and High Point. Purdue leads 23-21. Braden Smith just made a free throw. Oh, wow, not too far away there for Bryce. Yeah, what's good, Joe? Welcome in. He's looking for Houston to take it all this year. Comeback possible for Louisville. Yeah, I think they get a chance. They're going to have to knock down much more shots in the second half for them. So I wouldn't say it's over. It's just going to be really difficult, especially at the rim, because they haven't been able to manage buckets besides fast break transition at the rim because Ryan Kalkbrenner is just such a strong defender. He's forcing miss after miss after miss whenever Louisville takes it inside. Purdue has missed 15 shots in this game so far. We've got 9 offensive rebounds, though. 23-21 Purdue. Hey, what's good, Warren? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in, bud. since we're at halftime, I'm going to do a couple of sponsor reads here. First one goes to BetUS. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, where you can bet on the season sports action with BetUS. It's an A-plus rated sports book, which has been running since 1994. It's available in all 50 U.S. states. On BetUS, you can bet on your favorite sports teams, players, and sporting events. And for new sports bettors who go to the BetUS website, you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. Use my BetUS channel link, which is posted in the description of this video and pinned into the chat to get started, or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of this screen. So check out my new sponsor, BetUS. Link in the description, pinned into the chat as well for that link. QR code at the corner. BetUS has been changing the game for over 30 years. I'll do a quick read as well for Games Go, one of the other channel sponsors here too, in just a moment. I gotta put this time back to 20. So yeah, the other channel sponsor, Games Go, that link is in the description too. I'll post that in the chat. So right now that is in the chat with my promo code EJPMU, which is my promo code for referrals over on GamesGo. GamesGo is a subscription sharing platform that allows users to access subscription services at a lower cost by sharing accounts, much lower than the premium cost for GamesGo. So that link I just posted in the chat. Both of those links, BetUS and GamesGo, are posted in the description of the video. And recently checked GamesGo, they update with different sites that they have linked here for a lower cost than the premium cost. Right now, MLB TV is on that list. That is $9.99 a month. That is much lower than the premium cost. There's a bunch of different things out there. Multiple sites. New York Times at $1.25 for the bundle. That includes The Athletic as part of that on that bundle for just $1.25 per month. But multiple stuff on the GamesGo site. NordVPN at $1.41 per month. And a ton of other stuff there. ChatGPT 4-0 Plus is just $5.54 a month. So check out GamesGo, and that link is in the chat, posted in the description of the video as well. All right, so we're at halftime here. Currently, Purdue is starting to stretch out their lead against High Point, 29-23, under 5 left to go in the first. High Point, though, just scored a basket inside, so they're hanging in right now, down by 4 against Purdue. Yeah, I actually don't. So, yeah, I actually don't personally. I got them a couple months ago because I tried some of the bigs, like the big sites for some of the big dogs, but unfortunately they were like full for what they had or so. Yep. So yeah, sad day yesterday for PC basketball. Bryce Hopkins entered the transfer portal. Yeah, it's rough over there. So the athletic director he's hanging in with Kim English as the head coach. I'm not sure if that's going to last too long, as Purdue just blew a wide open alley-oop chance, and they lost it out of bounds as well. And Purdue right now is letting High Point hang in this game, 31-25 with 3:50 left to go before half. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. for like other sites that they have. They usually crack down on that in the tournament. Yeah, when I used to cover the regular season games for college basketball, I only got like only a couple of viewers or so because people would show the screen or so. But these March Madness games usually like blow up with the amount of viewers that we have. Yeah, that's right. So not too long before we start off, Wisconsin, Montana, 14 seed Montana taking on Wisconsin. I'll tip off at 1:30 Eastern time in 13 minutes. Wow, Bryce thinks that Liberty could go really far. I heard the point guard from Liberty is really, really good. I think they're going to give Oregon a shot there in that matchup. I picked Oregon, though. I'm not going to go against the track record of Dana Altman. Dana Altman is a constant winner in the first round, so he's had a ton of tournament success. So, one thing I've learned when doing my bracket is to never bet against Oregon in round one. Yeah, Oregon's red hot as well. Like, I think they've won the last 7 out of 8 games for them. They've had an insane travel schedule for them, too, this year. They got red hot to begin the year, and then they went on, like, a gigantic losing streak. It's kind of an odd year because of the whole realignment and stuff like that. You got Oregon and UCLA flying out to the Midwest and over to the East Coast playing conference games. So you have some of these teams that hit a losing skid at one point. Oregon was one of them. UCLA was another team who went on a pretty big losing streak at one point. And then both of those teams started to gather themselves together second stretch of the season. And the conference realignment stuff just doesn't benefit some of these teams. Yeah. Purdue up by 6 against High Point, 31-25. 18-6 points in the paint for Purdue. It's kind of shocking because High Point had been pretty effective in the paint coming into this game. And Purdue had one of the worst defenses in the nation in paint points allowed coming into this matchup. Yeah, Oregon, Rutgers, Oregon, Penn State, Maryland. Some of those teams, that's a really difficult travel flying all the way across the country. $31-25 though. High Point hanging in right now. Yeah, Quentin Grimes, really underrated player in the NBA this year. He's surged up this year, having a really solid season for him. Wow, I'm looking over his numbers right now. 28.5 points in the month of March. So he's gotten a bunch of opportunity, bunch of playing time. Purdue just advanced their lead. 33-25 Purdue, and High Point just turned it over. Yeah, Purdue is starting to get up on a run against High Point right now. 35-25. Purdue, 10-point lead. Yeah, hopefully we'll be back here for the second half. I think these halves are usually longer in the tournament. They usually stretch the halves compared to like a regular season. But yeah, thanks so much for all joining in, being a part here of the channel. If you guys enjoy the content, keep on smashing the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. I'll be back in later tonight covering Utah State against UCLA, so if you guys would like to join in later tonight, 9:25 p.m. Eastern Time, feel free to do so. Louisville needs to get other players involved here. It's been just a one-man show. Chucky Hepburn, 18 points, 7 for 13 from the floor. Terrence Edwards Jr. hasn't been able to show up today. 5 points, 2 for 10. And everybody else has had a minimal impact in this game offensively. So it's basically been two guys, 16 out of 34 attempted shots combined between Edwards and Hepburn. Yeah, Hepburn has been really efficient getting buckets, saving his team. Edwards is not. And it's a lot more balanced for Creighton. You got guys splashing threes left and right. Three for 5 by Jackson McAndrew from 3. 3 for 6 by Stephen Ashworth. Jemiah Neal, 2 for 3 from 3. Uh, 15 seeds. Who do I think is going to be the most likely to win? Good question. I'd go with Bryant. Bryant is a interesting team. They play top 10 fastest pace in the nation for them. Yeah, I think they're the best 15 seed out of the grouping. I wouldn't bet against Izzo, but I think out of all those teams, Bryant has the fastest. They're the fastest paced team, and they've been on a roll recently. They hung in and played a quality 27 minutes against St. John's. So they were at St. John's back in December, and they were down just 50. It was 56-53 with 13 minutes left. So they played a quality 27 minutes hanging in before St. John started dominate takeover. Hey, what's good, Kimberly? Welcome in. Thanks for joining in. Halftime's going to wrap up in like any minute from now. So it looks like they're going to get the game back on in like a minute or two. I remember 2019, the Bradley Braves gave Michigan State a run for its money. That Michigan State team went to the Final Four that year. Wow, Wofford could beat Tennessee, Bryce puts out. That would be a shocker. Wofford has a 19-15 record. So that would really be shocking. I think Wofford lost to Duke 81-35. So that would really be shocking if Wofford wins that one. Purdue leads High Point 35-25. 42 seconds left to go before halftime in that game. And right here, Louisville needing other players to step up currently. Being just dominated 20-14. Kraton in rebounds. 9 made threes by Kraton. They started off really slow from the perimeter, but all of a sudden they were red hot second part of that first half. Louisville just 4 for 13 from 3. It's been just one player who's shown up. Chucky Hepburn responsible for more than 50% of the points. He did make back-to-back buckets in the final minute to go on an individual 5-zip run to get this down to 15 before halftime. So we'll see if that gives their team some momentum here. See if they can rally behind the home state fans as well. This game taking place down in Lexington, Kentucky. Back to action. Louisville with possession as we start off the second half. Jumper, mid-range, swoosh. Out to the right foot for Louisville. Terrence Edwards, now 3 for 11, got locked up in the opening half. Shot the ball just 2 for 10. Able to force up a mid-range runner and converted on it. Ashworth slides it off to Jemiah Neal. Jemiah Neal Dribbles up, drives, working on Hepburn at the elbow. Neal out to the right elbow. One-on-one guard by Hepburn. Outside to the top. Kalkbrenner open three. Kalkbrenner buries it. Oh, the big fella from downtown sizzles the triple. 16-point lead for Creighton. Ouch, that one has to hurt if you're Louisville. Hepburn settles for the jumper. No good. Pinwheeled out. Offensive rebound controlled by Louisville. And Javon Hadley threw it right off a Creighton player out of bounds. Heads up play there by Hadley to get this basketball back in the favor of the Cards. 49 points by the Bluejays in the first half. That's the most in any NCAA tournament game. And Louisville turns it over off the inbound. Bad passes. That was a gift, and it was grabbed by Ashworth, who completed the steal. McAndrew at the corner. Sends it cross court. Jemiah Neal. Right wing perimeter. Jemiah Neal. One-on-one guarded by Edwards. Hand off top of the key Kalkbrenner. Off to Ashworth. Drive. Kick. Corner. Three. McAndrew off the back room. No good. Offensive rebound controlled by Jason Green. New 20 seconds on the shot clock here for Creighton. Ashworth. Bounce pass outside. Kalkbrenner. Hand off Ashworth. At the top with Neal. 8 in the shot clock. Neal. Spin cycle. Neal right over Rain Smith to the cup. He scores. 18-point lead for Creighton. Veteran experience out of some of these players. Ashworth, Kalkbrenner, Jemiah Neal, also a senior, start to take over. Javon Hadley, inside the key. Hadley, tough hook shot, got fouled. 2 free throws coming up. That is charged to Jackson McAndrew. Yeah, Mr. Top's been doing pretty well. Purdue goes into halftime with a 10-point lead over High Point, 37-27. So 2 shots here by the Cards at the line. First one, no good. That's not going to help out the cause here for a comeback. So Javon Hadley missed the first one. Second shot, and hat bounced in. Looked like that was almost going to go short. 17-point lead for Kraton. Yeah, he doesn't take too many threes for Kalkbrenner, but able to hit some of them. Push pass out to the corner. Ashworth, left baseline dribble. Lob over the top and slicing defenders to the cup. It is Jason Green who scores for 2. 56-37. Mr. Tops is my tortoise. Jumper, corner, Jay missed off the mark. No good by Waterman. Offensive rebound goes back to Louisville, and Kraton picks up another foul here off the loose ball. I took Louisville for this one. Not looking so hot right now. Usually teams that's underseeded are teams that win 60% of the time. So Creighton's just got tournament experience with this group of players, especially Kalkbrenner is the most experienced player in the entire field. And the Cards bury the 3. Noah Waterman for the left wing. 16-point game here. We'll see if they can make it a ball game. Ashworth slides it off to Jemiah Neal. Jemiah Neal at the left wing. Lob on top over to Kalkbrenner. Hand off to Ashworth. Ashworth guarded by Hepburn. 10 on the shot clock. Back to Neal. Neal. 17 minutes left to go. Pressured here by Waterman from the perimeter. Neal, took too many steps. But no, they're going to let it play on, and that's a missed 3 by McAndrew from the corner. Lucky there as Louisville came up with a basketball. Hepburn, handoff. Rain Smith, 3, missed off the rim short. That's a tough look there, straight away from the March Madness logo. Jemiah Neal on the outside. Towards his right. Slides it over to Jason Green. Back out to Ashworth. 15 on the shot clock for Kraton. Stephen Ashworth, guarded by Hepburn. 10 on the shot clock. Louisville has to see if they can start to force some turnovers. That's what worked for them. A couple buckets in fast break transition. Step back three in the air. Jemiah Neal off the back rim, no good. Waterman secures the defensive rebound. Wisconsin just tipped off against Montana 4-3 in the first minute and 20 seconds in that game. Wisconsin bricked off the rim short, missed off the step back for Louisville by Javon Hadley, and there goes Ashworth, and he takes the distance with a layup. Paint defense not happening right now for the Cards, and they go the opposite way quickly with Edwards. 58-42, gonna push that basketball if you're Louisville. 16-point game. Terrence Edwards started to step up. He's got 9. Steven Ashworth going to slow down tempo. Ashworth, edge in the March Madness logo. Slides it off to Jason Green, and bad pass gets intercepted. 2-on-1 up the floor. Going to capitalize if you're Louisville, and they do. Up and it off the backboard by Terrence Edwards Jr. It's a 14-point game right now. That is how you're going to have to generate points if you're Louisville. Points off turnovers. That's the third time it's happened in this game. 7 turnovers by Creighton. 3 of those leading the fast break buckets. Jemiah Neal, top of the key. Into the hands to Ashworth. Pulls up from 34 feet away, and he buries it. Steven Ashworth from Steph Curry range. Bang, bang. Steven Ashworth, absolute fire in this game today. 18 points, just drilled his fourth made 3. Edwards on a step back. Missed off the mark. Kalkbrenner controls the defensive rebound. 14-45 left to go. This game's moving by fast so far. Kraton at the right wing. We're well below the 16-minute media timeouts. Top of the key, Kalkbrenner. Hand off right wing back to Kalkbrenner off the roll down. Missed off the glass. Rain Smith with a defensive board. Cards look to push it once again. Smith, dribble, drive, right down the lane inside. Couldn't finish, got fouled. And 2 free throws coming up here by Rain Smith. Steven Ashworth unhappy about the call, as this will take us to the media timeout right now. 17-point game. Creighton able to still outscore Louisville 12-10 in the second half. As time is ticking down off the clock, we only got 14:24 left to go in action. Wow, this game's really gone by fast. And anytime you got a game with Creighton, expect it to go by super, super fast, because this team does not follow. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell if you guys are new here on the stream. I'll be back live later tonight covering Utah State against UCLA. Feel free to join in for that game if you guys would like. Quick look around college basketball, other games in the tournament. Montana, Wisconsin tied up at 5. In the first 3 minutes there in that game. Purdue, 10-point halftime lead against High Point, 37-27. Just going to have other players step up here. It's only been a 2-man show. Chucky Hepburn, 18 points. Terrence Edwards Jr. with 11. Rain Smith, struggling game for him today, just 1 for 4 from 3. Noah Waterman, 1 for 4 from 3. Javon Hadley, just 5 points for him. Creighton has the better players who have been here before. Steven Ashworth, 18 points. 10 points by Kalkbrenner. 14, 8, and 5 by Jemiah Neal for points, rebounds, and assists, padding the stat sheet in this game for Neal. And then the first year with Jackson McAndrew, he's got 11. They got 4 players at double digits. So yeah, this game is starting to slip away right now. You're going to have to force turnovers. If you're Louisville here to get back in the game. Creighton with 7 turnovers, and 3 of those possessions off fast break have led to baskets every single time. It's just disappointing for Louisville because they're getting out-doubled in this game. It looks like they're playing 2v4 right now. Creighton, 4 players out of their starting 5 in double figures, and the Cards with just 2. This is a very similar matchup for Creighton in their first round compared to 2 years ago. They took on NC State. NC State had 2 players who were averaging 18 and 16 on their team, and they took one of those guys out of the equation, and the other guy got his points, dropped down like 30-something, I believe, in that game, but the other guy really struggled. Both of the free throws are good at the line for Rain Smith. They really needed that. 61-46 now, 15-point game. Kraton right to left on the floor with possession. Creighton doubling up more so than Louisville on the 3. 11 made threes by the Bluejays, only 5 made threes for the Cardinals. Jackson McAndrew outside off to Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner's made 1 3 in this game. Ashworth out to the corner. That was a high pass, but Neal soared up and corralled it. Neal inside the key, attacks the paint. Neal goes up, gets fouled. Bad defensive position there by Javon Hadley as he was leaning in with his shoulder and clipped Jemiah Neal off the drive to the hoop. So 2 free throws coming up for Creighton with Jemiah Neal. First free throw, no good off the back rim. Wisconsin building their lead against Montana 9-5 with 15:40 left in the first. Second free throw is good. If you're Louisville right now, you're going to want to see if you can get this down to 12. Get this down to 12 very, very soon. Make this a ball game, and they almost lost to Hepburn. Shovels it off to his teammate, Hadley, and got it poked out of bounds. It will stay Cardinals ball. 6-5 through the first 11, 21-2 in their last 23 for Louisville. Chucky Hepburn lobs it near side corner off to Hadley. Hadley swings it over to Connie Roots. Roots off the crossover, drives on Kalkbrenner, left it off the glass too strong. A rebound controlled by Kalkbrenner. That was a strong drive, unable to finish that though. That one hurts. You're going to need every single bucket in this game that you can get if you're the Cards. And the step back jumper is good for the deep 2. Mid-ranger by Jemiah Neal. That's an NBA level type shot right there. He's got 17 on 6 for 9 for the floor. Jump off down low. Waterman slips behind the defense and scores. 16-point game once again. Ashworth at the right wing perimeter. Slides it on top over to Jackson McAndrew. Zugic has provided a spark off the bench. Zugic blocked from behind. Fouled though according by the referees. That looked like a pretty clean block from behind. They're not going to show that replay out of it. So Kraton will have 2 shots here coming up at the free throw line. We are down to 13 minutes left. Fedor Zugic, 2 free throws. First one he makes. He's only averaging 4.3 points per game, but he just scored his 5th point for Zugic. Check that. That's his 4th point with a first made free throw. Zugic is going to have a second one here. Second free throw is no good. Skipped around the rim and out. Cardinals have possession back off the defensive rebounds. Chucky Hepburn running the point, top of the key. Going to start to tap into some pace and urgency here if you're the Cards. And Kalkbrenner got a piece of that ball, blocked Hadley. Back it goes to Louisville. 8 on the shot clock. Terrence Edwards dribbles up inside the key with some space. Right over Kalkbrenner, got it to go. Man, that's a tough leaner right there, but Terrence Edwards Jr. with 13 points. Very, very difficult shot he just hit. Ashworth has it at the left wing perimeter for Creighton. Moves it on top, Kalkbrenner. Off to Ashworth once again. Neal, 10 in the shot clock. Guarded by Hepburn, top of the key. Looking for something to materialize. They had a cutter backdoor. Couldn't see him though. Neal, bounce pass. Ashworth cutting to the hoop. Couldn't finish. Missed the layup. Numbers here up the floor. 5 on 4. Ashworth not back in transition defense. Open. 3 from the corner. No good. Missed by Louisville. And this ball gets kicked into hardwood. We get a scramble for this basketball. Louisville eventually recovers. Kick out to the corner. Out to the wing. Edwards will slow it down. Edwards. Dribble. Drive. Inside. Edwards. And a foul. They will not count the basket. Things start to get physical here. 65-50. Bodies hitting the deck. 11:45 left to go in the second half of action as we'll head to the under 12 media timeout. Yeah, tough hole for the Cards to come back from right now. Really, really tough hole when they've only got 2 players who's been able to step up this entire game. You're going to need a lot more than 2 players right now. 18 points by Chucky Hepburn, 13 points by Terrence Edwards Jr. Everybody else stuck at 5 or less. 5 below for Louisville, whereas they got much more better balance for Creighton. 18 out of Stephen Ashworth. 17 for Jemiah Neal, 11 by McAndrew, 10 by Kalkbrenner. If you're doing the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Ring the notification bell to be notified here for future live streams on the channel. I cover basketball action, play-by-play with college hoops and NBA. Purdue leads High Point at the half, 37-27. Wisconsin up against Montana, 11-8. Usually these games are really good games that come down to the wire. I hope that the Cards can make something out of this right now because it was just that blip that they had winning the midway mark of the first half where they went on a massive multiple minute scoring drought of 4+ minutes and Creighton was burying everything, and that's the difference in this game is that Creighton got red hot winning that stretch. Louisville got stone cold, and the Cards haven't been able to come on back from that because it's been even everywhere else. So it has been even everywhere else. It's just that stretch in the game that Creighton went on a lengthy run, part of a 19-2 run at one point in the midway portion of the first half. Winner of this game is going to take on the winner of the 1 seed Auburn versus Alabama State. Louisville down by 15 gets the inbound. 11:45 left to go. Rain Smith blocked from the perimeter by Kalkbrenner. Loose ball picked up, and the Cards able to take it to the rim. Rain Smith is down though. Oh goodness! And they're going to count the buckets. Rain Smith is injured and he is down, and this looks like it's a pretty severe injury. And this looks like a re-injury. Possibly. Ooh. It looked like when he went around the screen on that 3. Might have re-injured his lower ankle for Smith. Yikes. Oh man, this poor kid. Damn. So we have stopped time in this game right now. An injury timeout. This looks like a pretty bad injury. Ugh. Man, prayers for that young man right there. I'm hoping that's not an ACL. Poor guy. Damn. Here, we're going to go over to the timeout right now. This looks like it's pretty bad. Right ankle of Rain Smith as he is coming around here. Got the handoff from his teammate Traore to take a three. And yeah, it was before the shot got blocked. He didn't land in the landing zone of anybody. That was just how he spotted up on the three. And this looks pretty bad. Prayers to that young man right now, Rain Smith. He's gone through a lot. He was injured last couple of games. Late stretch down the season, too. Just a terrible sign. Has to get helped out by the staff off the court. Terrible, terrible sign. Rain Smith cannot put any power in his right leg right now. Oh, man, that's brutal. Damn. Yeah, so it's 65-52 Creighton. 11:37 left to go in the second half. All right, so we're going to get back to action here. Yeah, looked like a pretty severe injury. If somehow they do come back and win this game, I think that's a season ender right there. It looked pretty severe. He couldn't put any weight on his right leg. Kalkbrenner down low, scores over Waterman up in and off the backboard. It's getting very tough to advance and take on most likely Auburn in round two. Hepburn inside the key, puts it up, no good, missed off the mark. Offensive rebound right back to Waterman. Louisville is going to start to string some buckets together, put together some stops. Edwards, spin cycle inside the key. Edwards, mid-range, off the back rim, no good. Kraton with a defensive rebound. Wisconsin leading Montana 18-13 at the moment. Kraton with a chance to slow down tempo as they're controlling a 15-point lead in the first game of the tournament. Jemiah Neal attacks inside the paint. Neal right to the rim, scores up and off the backboard. Just experienced by Creighton, looking for their 5th straight tournament win on their head coach Greg McDermott right now, in 5 straight seasons in a row coming back after COVID. Waterman lobs it out to the low block. They dribble back out to the perimeter. Hand off to Hadley. Hadley at the low block here. Hadley working on Kalkbrenner outside. He moves it off to Traore. Drives, attacks inside the paint. That is foul charge to Zugic, number 7. And that is before the layup attempt. Wow. I honestly thought that looked like it was going to be offensive. So that is a defensive foul by Zugic before the shot attempt. So it's going to be an inbound for Louisville. Almost midway through this second half. Almost 10 more minutes left to go in this game. Coming off the screen, Edwards put them in a shot. Got it to go right over Zugic. 69-54, 10 minutes remaining. 15 for Terrence Edwards Jr. Gonna need a lot more than just 2 players to will their team and pick up the win. Lucas, what's good? Welcome in. Siegel, thanks for joining in, brother. Hopefully things are much, much better, man. Hopefully you'll be able to... That'll be able to work out for you, Siegel. Kalkbrenner rolls to the cup and he scores up and through. It's good for 2. Ryan Kalkbrenner, 50-year senior, over 160 games in his collegiate career, starting to take over. Cards with possession. Waterman towards his left. Lobs it out to the corner. Hepburn, corner 3. Off the rim, no good. Ripped. Kalkbrenner and Waterman tied up here with possession. Looked like Kalkbrenner was going to rip that ball away, and possession arrow goes to Kraton. Purdue High Point just started the second half, 39-31 Purdue. Wisconsin starting to pull away against Montana, 21-13, with 10 minutes left to go in the first. High Point just drilled a 3, so it's 39-34. High Point right now is hanging in with Purdue. Yeah, Creighton looking really good currently. It's going to be the 5th straight tournament win in the first round under head coach Greg McDermott. Ashworth looking for the knockout punch off the back rim. Twice no good. A rebound secured for the Cards with James Scott. Hepburn outside corner. They'll slow it down. Gotta go. Time's coming off the clock. Chucky, Hepburn, lift baseline dribble, circles around. Too much dribbling. 14 in the shot clock. Hepburn, low block. Got a bounce off his knee. It's a turnover. Yikes. Louisville not showing up right now. Big props out to the Big East in this tournament, about to dominate. Yes, Creighton would take on Auburn in the next round. Big East about to go 2-0 in the bracket to begin. This is only the 3rd game that consists of Power 5 schools in the bracket when you add up the 11 seeds in the first game of today. Ashworth, 12 in the shot clock. Skips it over to Neal. Fires a bullet down low off the fingertips of his teammate, and it gets stolen by Louisville. Kalkbrenner right now is on the bench. This is where you gotta go. You gotta go if you're the Cards, and they drilled a 3. Got it down to 14. 71-57, 8-10 left to go. Noah Waterman, he's got 8. This is an opportunity right now with Kalkbrenner on the bench. Can they start to get this back to single digits? That's the question. Frederick King in the spot of Kalkbrenner. Backs his way inside the low post. King blocked the first time. Second chance, missed it. And he got tied up with it. Possession arrow goes to Louisville. So we got some buckets. We got some stops right now for the Cards. And we get a timeout as we're under 8 minutes left. TV timeout, 7:52 left to go. Alright, so we head over to the timeout. If you guys are new to the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell. Keep on coming back for future live streams on the channel. I'll be back live later tonight covering Utah State against UCLA, so feel free to join in for that game. Purdue leads High Point 43-36. Wisconsin leads Montana 21-13. Four players in double figures for Creighton. 19 by Jemiah Neal, 18 by Stephen Ashworth. Kalkbrenner with 14, 11 by Jackson McAndrew. Louisville only to muster just 2 players in double digits. 18 by Hepburn, 15 by Edwards. Yeah, it'd be an even better game if Louisville was able to make this much more competitive. Still got time, though. 7:52 left to go. They're going to have to go on a massive run. Yeah, NCAA tournament experience right now coming to play for this Creighton team. They're really well coached. They've been here before with this group of guys. They'd be a really dangerous team. If they had Pop Isaacs right now, this team would be really, really dangerous. They've been sitting for most of the season just outside the top 25 receiving votes. And they are without one of their key stars this year. He got injured 8 games into the season. So they do lose Kalkbrenner. That's going to be a huge loss for them next year. But, I mean, and also Ashworth. But still, they get Pop Isaacs back. That's a good start. And then they get a couple really young guys. Jackson McAndrew, a first year today with 11. Zugic, he's come up strong off the bench last couple of games. Entering this tournament, has some big games off the bench for him in the Big East tournament. But what a start right now for the Big East if they can keep this going. They're about to be 2-0 if Creighton can keep this going throughout the final 7:52. Probably overseas for him because he's a fifth-year senior. He's been playing for ages. 71-57 as we come back for the timeout. Kraton shooting 57% from the floor. Louisville at 42%. Hepburn on the outside finds Waterman. Left baseline dribble and a foul committed by Kraton. Fouls have gone their way for Louisville in the second half, though. That's Creighton's sixth. Louisville with just 2. First half, it was vice versa. Wisconsin leads Montana 24-18. High Point right in it with Purdue 43-39. Under 16 minutes left to go in that game. Louisville gets the inbounds. Gotta go if you're the Cards. Hepburn. Kick out to the corner. Back outside to Chucky Hepburn as he's defended by Jemiah Neal. Hepburn meets Kalkbrother at the rim and double clutch scores up and off the backboard. That's a tough bucket there by Chucky. 12-point game right now under 7:20 remaining. Creighton will slow down tempo. Next time around, Louisville will be in a bonus. Kalkbrunner is back on the floor. And also McAndrew is on the floor. Ashworth, Jemiah Neal, and number 0, Jason Green. So their entire starting 5 currently on the floor for Creighton. Jemiah Neal, 4 in the timer. Neal dribbles up, jumper, 18-footer, straight away. Swash! He should go to the NBA. Jemiah Neal, tough shot after tough shot tonight. Contested J after contested J, and he's making those. 73-59. Probably going to go undrafted to the Summer League this summer. Noah Waterman, top of the key. Hand off to Terrence Edwards Jr. Edwards, crossover, dribbles up to the elbow. Working on McAndrew, dish outside. Open 3, Louisville, no good. Skidded off the rim, out of bounds. It was missed off the mark by James Scott. Probably the G League for him on like a 2-way for him. 73-59. 6:15 remaining. Creighton controlling pace, controlling tempo in this game. That spot that hurt Louisville was the 19-2 run in the middle of the first half. Haven't been able to come back from that ever since. A lot of dribbling by Neal. Attacks the paint on Waterman. Missed off the glass. No good. A rebound secured by Hadley. Louisville looking to space out the floor. Hepburn. Oh, that was a sweet dribble behind his back, and he scores. Up and off the backboard. It's only a 12-point game. That was sick right there by Chucky Hepburn. 22 by Chucky. 50% shooting on 9 for 18 from the floor. Quarter 3. No good off the mark by Creighton. Here comes Louisville. A chance to cut it within 10 or 9 right here. Hepburn. Shake and bake. A right baseline dribble. Backdoor missed the layup. Blocked off the glass by Kalkbrunner. Creighton with possession. Under 5.5 left to go as this game started to ramp up. Louisville starting to awaken here. Kraton on top, Kalkbrunner off to Ashworth. Ashworth defended at the right wing, moves it cross court. Out to the left wing to Neal, slows it down, 10 on the shot clock. Jemiah Neal towards his right, edge of the midcourt logo, 5 on the shot clock. Neal looking for the knockout punch right here. Neal, step back, 3 in the air over Waterman, no good. Tipped off the glass, tipped around, and a foul committed, charge to Louisville on the loose ball. Tough call for the Cards. SIU Edwardsville and Houston just tipped off, and it's SIU Edwardsville with a 2-0 lead in the first minute. Wisconsin's up against Montana, 27-20. Purdue leading High Point by just 5, 44-39. Kraton will get the inbound. Louisville with 4 fouls committed this half. Kraton with 6. Next time around, the Cards will be in a bonus during the next foul. Bad pass there by Kalkbrunner. Intercepted by the Cards. Louisville needing a bucket right here, right now. Pull up Jay from the wing. Off the mark, no good. Missed by Edwards. That's tough there. Very tough with time ticking down off the clock. And what is going on right now? Pat Kelsey better be careful. Pat Kelsey better be careful. Unhappy about a previous call. I don't believe he got teed up, but that was really close to being a tee. Really close to getting a tee there for Kelsey. I don't know where this foul came from. Oh, he was teched up. He was teched up on the bench. So check that. He was teched up. And there's an object that was thrown on the court. Yeah, there's a water bottle on the court right now. Yeah, my prediction here for Cooper Flagg, he might go to the Utah Jazz. I got him projected at Utah. (4-4) between Houston and SIU Edwardsville. 29-22, Wisconsin leads Montana. And Purdue is up against High Point 45-39. Yeah, I saw that article this morning with new Celtics ownership coming up. Pat Kelsey still yet to win in the NCAA tournament. 0-4 record in the NCAA tournament here. Greg McDermott on the other side. 4 straight wins coming back after COVID for Creighton. Having got bounced out of round of 1 since 2018. Kind of shocked that this game hasn't been much more than what it should have been. I mean, it's still better than Ohio State Loyola Chicago from a few years back. That was a brutal first round game to begin the tournament. Unfortunate. Pat Kelsey getting teed up by the officials. Just really unfortunate there. Montana's making it a game right now. Wisconsin just hit a 3 as I spoke. 32-24 Wisconsin. High Point battling with Purdue. 14 minutes left. 47-41 Purdue. There's a big stoppage in time here in this game. We're stopped at 4:41 left. Yeah, Terrence Edwards in a 3-point shot attempt. He thought he was fouled. That's a critical call because if they called it a foul, that's 3 free throws, chance to draw back within 9 in this game. But instead, Pat Kelsey gets teed up. Stephen Ashworth will head to the free throw line. Looks like Creighton's going to be on their way to taking on Auburn. Unless Alabama State pulls off a miracle upset in that matchup. Ashworth, first free throw, he buries it. Definitely not the guy you want to send to the free throw line, as he's one of the best in the nation at making free throws. Second free throw is good. Big East is about to go 2-0 in this bracket. What a start last night. Xavier beat Texas, a double-digit come-from-behind victory. Creighton red-hot stretch in the first half. That was really the difference. Inbound goes to Ashworth. 14-point lead, approaching 4.5 minutes left. They're pretty good at controlling pace, controlling tempo right now for Creighton. Ashworth at the right wing. Having himself a field day in this matchup as he has got himself 20 points. Jemiah Neal with 21. Jemiah Neal looking for more. Neal, crossover, dribbles up, free throw circle, step back 3, step back 2, able to bounce it in at the elbow. Jemiah Neal with 23. Too strong to come from behind from this one right now. That was the knockout punch there by Neal. Hepburn off the glass, no good. A rebound secure by Kraton. Jackson McAndrew. If Jemiah Neal is shooting like that, they get a chance to go toe for toe, head to head against Auburn in that matchup and take them right down to the wire. Jemiah Neal hitting tough shot after tough shot this afternoon. This Creighton team is just so well coached, so prepared, came ready to play. Every single time in the tournament, this team always comes ready to play. Kalkbrenner has it here at the mid-block. Kalkbrenner, hook shot. Off the back rim, no good. A rebound secured by the Cards. Under 3.5 left to play. Gotta go if you're Louisville. Too much time coming off the clock here. And they score up and in off the backboard with Javon Hadley. 77-63. Timeout on the floor. 3:15 left to go as Pat Kelsey will burn a timeout. So 77-63. Tough game for the Cards. Yeah, really tough. It was just that stretch that Creighton outscored them 19-2, and they just weren't able to come on back from that stretch in the game and make this a ball game today. Only 2 players showed up. Chucky Hepburn, 22 points, 15 by Terrence Edwards Jr. Jemiah Neal have himself a game, padding the stat sheet, a double-double. 23 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists, 20 points for Stephen Ashworth, 14 by Kalkbrenner, 11 by Jackson McAndrew. If you're new in the stream, smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, ring the notification bell as well if you guys would like to be notified for future live streams. Purdue is up against High Point 47-41. Wisconsin leads Montana 34-27. Houston up against SIU Edwardsville 14-6. Of course, if you're looking for scoreboard updates, there's plenty of sites out there that allow you to do that, such as ESPN.com right now, the NCAA M Scores tab for March Madness games. I'm going to do a quick sponsor read here for my channel sponsor, BetUS. This stream is sponsored by BetUS, where you can bet on the season sports action with BetUS. It's an A+ rated sportsbook, which has been running since 1994. It's available in all 50 U.S. states. For new sports bettors who go to the BetUS website, you'll receive a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits of up to $2,000. Use my BetUS channel link, which is posted in the description of the video, pinned into the chat to get started, or you can click the QR code at the bottom corner of the screen. So check out BetUS. Link in the description, pinned in the chat, QR code at the bottom corner. It has been changing the game for over 30 years with BetUS. Just awaiting to get back to action. And you guys are welcome to join back in. I'll be live later tonight at 9:25 covering Utah State against UCLA, if you guys would like to join in for that game. Jemiah Neal padding the stat sheet in multiple ways. 23, 11, and 5 for points, rebounds, and assists this afternoon, taking over. First Creighton player with 20, 10, and 5 in an NCAA tournament game. Making sure that this team is not only Kalkbrenner and Ashworth, it is more than just that. Jemiah Neal making some big-time shots. Creighton will have the basketball. And they will look to go for the touchdown pass to end it right here, and they will. Touchdown pass going the length of the court, punching it through with a right-handed flush by Jemiah Neal. Louisville not back defensively. Rough ending to this game for the Cards. They had a rough mid-stage first half. Missed 3 by Hepburn as they're shooting desperation shots. Kalkbrenner collects the rebound in this game, looking like it's in the bag here for the Blue Jays. Purdue stretching their lead 56-46 over High Point with 10 minutes left. Wisconsin up against Montana 38-30. And Houston looking really good up against SIU Edwardsville 19-6. Kalkbrenner. Handoff to Neal. 5 in the shot clock. Top of the key. Jemiah Neal. Rise and fire. Deep 2. Jumper. Swash. 81 on the board for Creighton. Jemiah Neal's got 27. Edwards, a lot of dribbling, urgency with their offense just not there today, and he just made the 3. 15-point game. Too little too late for the comeback, though. Neal, in the backcourt, gets fouled. And Louisville just gave their 6, so they're 1 away from putting Kraton at the free throw line in the bonus. $81-66, 2:03 left as we'll head over to another timeout. Man, coming into this game, I thought we'd be talking about Ryan Kalkbrenner putting up like 30. Look at this stud today. Jemiah Neal, 27 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. I mean, this is certainly worth NBA caliber. That he should be getting looks by NBA teams for his performance today. Really, really good game out of Jemiah Neal. He was excellent. 2 guys dropped down at least 20. 27 by Neal, 20 by Ashworth, 14 by Kalkbrenner. Kalkbrenner only shot it 8 times, went 6 for 8 though. And then Jackson McAndrew with 11. Just an efficient field day here for Kraton. 56% from the floor, limiting Louisville to 42% in this game. Only 2 guys showed up. 22 by Chucky Hepburn, 18 by Terrence Edwards. Yeah, I'm actually going to end that poll. Thanks so much, everybody, for voting on that poll today. So right now, this game looks like it's in the bag for Kraton. High Point, or Purdue is up by 10 over High Point, 56-46. While Houston is pounding SIU Edwardsville, 24-8 Houston. Wisconsin goes up at the half, 40-32 against Montana. Hey, what's good, JDC? Welcome back in. Kraton came to play, and they came ready and came to play today. This is going to be the 5th straight first-round win under Coach McDermott in the tournament. So Kraton is about to face Auburn, the 1 seed, or if Alabama State can pull off a miracle upset. Auburn has gone 1-3 in their last 4. No team has ever won the championship going 1-3 in their final 4 games. Kraton up by 15 to get the inbounds. Playing keep away here in the backcourt. Kalkbrenner gets fouled. Minute 58 remaining there in the bonus. This is really just a fundamentally sound Kraton team. They don't beat themselves. took pretty solid care of the basketball today, just 9 turnovers. And Kalkbrenner missed the free throw with a 1-1, tipped out of bounds off Creighton, and will go Louisville's direction. Minute 56 left. Louisville just hasn't been able to make this a 9-point game. It's been just really disappointing because chances that they've had to come on back and just unable to make it into single digits ever on the comeback. Edwards, his 3 and a laser, ropes it through. It's a 12-point game. 81-69. Telltale, there was a story. Northern Iowa, Texas A&M back in 2016. Alex Caruso played for Texas A&M in that game. It's a 12-point game with 47 seconds left, and that game ended up going into overtime. This one we get a little bit more time. Minute 36 left. I'd be shocked if this somehow ends up in OT because this Creighton team is very fundamentally sound and can knock down free throws, takes care of the basketball, but they will burn a timeout. So the Blue Jays burn a timeout up by 12, minute 36 left, and we'll head back into the timeout. Yeah, this tournament might be all chalk. I was talking about that. If you guys went onto my streams for like the last couple of weeks, I did my NBA streams. I was saying I have a feeling most of this tournament's going to be chalk like last year because the NIL. Now there's a huge difference between the talent grouping at the Power 5 level and the talent grouping at the mid-major level. That's why we're seeing a lot of these Power 5s leading right now. Wisconsin up at the half, 40-32 against Montana. Purdue leads by 8 against High Point. That game's interesting, though. High Point ain't out of it just yet, 56-48. And then Houston leads SIU Edwardsville 24-8. That's of usual. Whenever Houston takes in a mid-major, it's usually a 30, 35, 40-point win for them. Like, not a ton of teams that's a mid-majors are going to have any sort of clue how in the world to score on one of the best defenses in the nation. Yeah, North Carolina, man, was red hot. They looked dangerous. They were making shot after shot after shot. The interesting part about UNC is Kraton in the bonus when Neal automatic hits the first free throw. Interesting part about UNC is they have 3 teams in a row that can't defend the perimeter if they can make it to the Sweet 16. Ole Miss has been struggling at defending the 3. Iowa State recently has struggled defending the 3, and they're dealing with injuries, so honestly wouldn't shock me if UNC makes it to the Sweet 16. And San Diego State really struggled to defend the 3. And North Carolina, that's their strong suit. Last month, they ranked top 15 in three-point percentage for them. Their guys were on fire in that game. Cards able to score down low. Final minute 20 left to go, 83-71. Gonna have to force some missed free throws. I'm not sure if it's gonna be able to happen here. Creighton just a really solid team. By the way, High Point Purdue. High Point's really making it interesting. 56-50 with 9 minutes left. We'll see if the guard play for Purdue will crack under pressure like they did 2 years ago against FTU. Creighton gets the inbound. Neal fouled in the backcourt. That's not the guy who you want to foul and leave open because he has been the player of the game by far. Jemiah Neal, first ever Creighton Blue Jay in program history with a 20-10-5 game. 1 point shy of 30. Got 29 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists. Yeah, Houston, SIU, Edwardsville, that game is already done. 27-9 Houston with 9:32 left. The free throw is missed short, though, in the 1-on-1 bonus. Louisville with possession, minute and 7 left to go, and the Cards get tripped up and fouled. They'll have free throws coming up in the 1-on-1 themselves. So free throws coming here in the bonus for Louisville. Next foul that the Cards commit, Kraton will be in a double bonus, shooting 2 the rest of the stretch. 9 personal fouls here in the second half by Louisville. 7 by Kraton. First free throw is good. So first one made by Javon Hadley. Second free throw rolls in. 10-point game is the closest that it's been in a long time. Making it interesting right now. Could even get more interesting if they're able to force a turnover here. Inbound, Neal, fouled, free throws, 2 free throws coming up. Only a second one off the clock, 1:04 remaining. Double bonus, rest of the stretch here for Creighton. Jemiah Neal, 2 free throws in the double bonus. First one, no good, missed it. I mean, if this team that Louisville was playing was Texas A&M, I would be saying all over the stream right now, this game certainly is not done just yet. A 10-point lead with 1:04 left. Second free throw off the back rim, no good. Huge offensive rebound controlled by Jason Green for Creighton, though. And Louisville had to give another foul with 59 seconds left. That's a humongous offensive rebound. Well, Louisville had the most players as seniors in the nation this season. 12 total seniors on their team. Check this. This was not a Louisville foul. This will be a Creighton inbound coming up. It was resulted as a dead ball rebound by the officials. Possession arrow Creighton. So non-Louisville foul. That was a dead ball rebound. Possession arrow Creighton. Creighton looking for the knockout punch right here off the give and go, and they do it. Thrown it down with a 2-handed flush. It's a 12-point lead for the Bluejays. Exclamation point in this one. Hepburn at the rim, blocked by Kalkbrenner. Tried to throw a poster down over Kalkbrenner, and he rejected him. And Ashworth will head to the line as you're down by 12 for Louisville. Just let the time run off the clock right now. It doesn't look likely at all that they're going to come on back in this game. 44 seconds left to go. Ryan Kalkbrenner. Such a good player. That is block 399 in school history for Ryan Kalkbrenner. Moves up to the number 2 list in Creighton Bluejay program history. First free throw is good. Purdue and High Point's only a 5-point game with 8 minutes left. High Point just drilled a free throw, 59-54. Stephen Ashworth. Right down the middle. Berry's free throw number 2. They put up 87. An absolute machine by Kraton in this match this afternoon. 40 seconds left. Hadley inside. Left-hand hook scores. Full court outlet pass. Once again thrown down with a 2-handed dunk by Jason Green. Kraton is going to move on to being 5-0 in their previous 5 tournaments under head coach Greg McDermott in the first round. Pat Kelsey will be 0-4. And the Creighton Bluejays, the 9 seed, able to silence Louisville, who came into the game as a very underseeded 8 seed, the number 10 team in the AP poll. And this is something that they could really, really build upon for a team that is super duper experienced. This team will not beat themselves over. This is a team that can give Auburn a run for its money. If Auburn is lazy, if Auburn's making mistakes, the high IQ, well-coached Creighton Bluejays have the opportunity on Saturday to bounce out the overall number 1 seed in the bracket, Auburn. If that happens, Auburn will take on Alabama State later today at 2:50. Winner of that game will take on Creighton in round 2 on Saturday. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining in. I'll be back live later tonight covering Utah State against UCLA at 9:25 p.m. later tonight. Feel free to join back for that game. You guys, the real legends. MVP is out here on the stream. Before I sign off for this one, make sure to smash the thumbs up, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and really appreciate everybody for being a part here on the channel for this game tonight. And we're going to go over shout-outs here for the channel members. Every single channel member gets a shout-out. That shout-out link is posted in the description of this video. It's $1.99 per month for channel members. And here's all the channel members getting a shout-out. Jason, Bradley, Warren, Kelly, I Am Ghost, the Nija Player, Asia, Ice Baby, Katie Ogie, SGA Sports Talk, Lonely Satellite, Michael, John, Norma, Jonathan, Guido, and Mark. Thanks for joining in, everybody, for this one. Today is Creighton picks up the win over Louisville in a 9-8 matchup to open up the 2025 NCAA tournament. 89-75 the final score. Congratulations to the Bluejays. They'll be moving on, taking on most likely the 1 seed Auburn, barring a miracle upset by Alabama State in the first round later today. And this Creighton team can really give Auburn, in my opinion, a run for its money, especially if Auburn is playing lazy and committing turnovers. Auburn, a more talented team, but Creighton, they got a lot of just really experienced, high IQ players in their system. They're super well coached. They don't foul. They don't beat themselves too often. And this is a Creighton team usually led by Ryan Kalkbrenner and Stephen Ashworth. 14 by Kalkbrenner, 3 blocks, 1 block shy of 400 on his collegiate career. 20 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists by Stephen Ashworth. But this day today belonged to Jemiah Neal, the number 3 option on the team. He was the first player in school history who had a 20, 10, and 5 game for Jemiah Neal, hitting massive shot after massive shot today. 29 points, 11 rebounds, 5 assists for Jemiah Neal of Creighton. A big reason why the Blue Jays come out on top in a double-digit win. 89-75 the final score. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining in. And see you guys later if you guys would like to join in for Utah State, UCLA later today. And enjoy the rest of your Thursday here, folks.